I would go down to the park, Merle Home Park, and I would get 12 pieces of honeysuckle, and I would sit and work on, and I did not, usually some people boil it and take the brown off. I think of this as utilitarian, and so therefore it's not all fancied up, because most everything was used back then. And I thought it would fade out, so I got to learn how the honeysuckle doesn't fade out. I would say I've worked on that 25 years. I remember I put a lot of time trying to get it round to this shape, but I like honeysuckle. My name is Thelma Forrest Van. I'm from Chewy, Oklahoma. I've lived in Tahlequah 40 years now. Before that, I lived at the Oaks Mission for 20 years. First class I had was with Jenny Sapp at Kenwood, and I had an interpreter. That's why I like to talk about her. She taught in Cherokee, and I don't speak Cherokee. I do somewhat, but we had an interpreter. John Ketcher was my first boss. Most everybody now that knows baskets will know John Ketcher, and he was the vice chief with Wilma Mankiller. And he would load up a group of us and take us over to Kenwood. And Jenny was, we used to call them the Kenwood 7, which is Jenny Sapp, Marie, her sister, Sally Lacey. I was trying to remember all of those ladies over there. I got to know them real well. That was my first lessons that I had, and we were taught honeysuckle and buckbrush, and they use buckbrush mostly. The classes are, and I teach the way that Jenny did. It wasn't a formal class because I'm not a teacher, and it was like more of a social day. People would bring their lunch. If the husband came, and he would take care of the kids and keep them out of the way. Up to this day, when I go to someone's home and I smell those biscuits and fried potatoes and beans, it always reminds me of Jenny Sapp's classes. Back when I started, there was very few pictures, no instructions. But now there's books, that you can get. But it's still, I thought that we would be able to get teachers. I thought we could have cane baskets all around here, but not so. But we're still working at it. My kids are still working at it. My granddaughters are real interested in the dyes right now, and so they're working on doing probably more things than I did on the dyes. I didn't do very much on the dyes. This year, all of my grandkids are here. So, and they're the ones that can climb out in the woods, and get stuff. And they all started when they were small, because I would go out to gather bloodroot or walnuts outside, and so the kids would go, when they were real little small, they would go with me, and they would get ticks. And their mother said, "Don't take them anymore out." And I said, "Okay." So the next time I'd ask the kids, "You want to go?" And they say yes, so we'd all go again. Well, I was surprised when they just they just blossomed out. They weren't doing anything for a while, and all at once they were getting awards for stuff. They were listening to the, basket lessons or the rhetoric that went on about it, because they picked it up and did far more than I have, and especially the designs and that they made up. I didn't grow up with my Indian family, so I didn't learn my culture, and that's a lot of why I do the basketry, and because then you see all the other stuff too. It mostly goes back to Kenwood, the atmosphere, the people all the neighbor people would come and go, and it was like, it wasn't a class. I mean, it was a class, but not a structured class. So I would try to learn as much as I could about as much culture as Cherokee culture. If you want to learn, then you will learn.